Now we're getting to the fun part. We turn 65. It's a landmark age for most people, not all people. But Heather, what happens when people turn age 65 regarding their retirement years?
So that's the big age for enrolling in Medicare. Now, not everyone enrolls in Medicare, but if you do not have creditable coverage, and creditable coverage means that you are working for an employer that has 20 or more employees. If you're working for a small business that doesn't, that is not considered creditable coverage. So you have to make sure with your employer who pays first, right? So I would always, if you're not certain, go to your employer, because you do not want to miss your initial enrollment period, which runs 3 months before your 65th birthday, the month of your 65th birthday, and 3 months after. Okay, so you've got a 7-month initial enrollment period. If you fail to enroll during that time, you could be paying lifelong late enrollment penalties for Part B and Part D. So you don't want to miss that. Now, I will tell you a couple things, that if you're already on Social Security at that point, you will automatically be enrolled in Part A and Part B. And some people will say, well, wait a minute, I don't want to be enrolled in Part A or Part B because I do get my coverage and I want to keep my coverage with my employer. You can disenroll in Part B, but not Part A. Why this is important is because if you are contributing to a health savings account, so let's say you say, well, I have great coverage, I don't want to pay for Part B because I have good coverage over here. You can disenroll, but if you have a health savings account, you must stop contributing, because once you are enrolled at any part of Medicare, Part A included, you must stop contributing to it. You can use the funds at that point that you've saved, and hopefully you have been max funding that health savings account, which you can only use if you have a high deductible health plan. But you can use the funds, but you cannot contribute. So that's what I'll say there. Now, if you have creditable coverage, COBRA is not creditable coverage, retiree coverage is not. If you work for a small employer with less than 20 employees, you must enroll. But if you do have creditable coverage, then you have a special enrollment period that runs 8 months after you lose that coverage. So, but 65, a really important year. Medicare.gov has a tool to help you navigate what your choices are. I would do that long before you turn 65 to just kind of figure out what your options are in terms of traditional Medicare or Medicare Advantage plan.